What's up guys, Godzilla here, and today I've got another figure review. Today I'm going to be getting to a figure I got yesterday from Lords Master 11, and that is the NECA 6-inch tall Godzilla 1994. So yes, this is a pretty nice figure. I definitely like it a lot. I think I'm just gonna go into detail now. So, detail. The head has a lot of detail and it's very nice. As you can see, he's got all these nice little wrinkles on his face bulges. You know, like, he has a bony face and that's what his suit looks like. It's got a bunch of nice little spines on his head. They look really nice. Let's look under his chin. Also very nice. Want to get a quick look on the inside of his mouth. Yes, there is great detail on the top of his mouth, as you can see. And also on the bottom. So yes, there's the head. Let's move down to the neck. Got some great detail. The body has all those little scales, if that's what you want to call them. Now on the camera, he's very shiny. He's very shiny in person too. It's not that distracting. It's okay. It makes him look very amphibious, as Shartimus Prime said. So yes, there's his body detail, there's his legs, lots of great fine detail. His feet, he's got little lines sculpted into the toenails, which looks fantastic. Let me take a look at his spines. Now his spines, I know the camera's out of focus because it's focused in up here, as you can see, but you guys will still be able to see this. His spines are like very rubbery. As you can see, you don't have to worry about him breaking, so that's nice. Let's look at the detail on his spines. That is fantastic detail. One of the better detail on some of the better detail as far as spines go in the most of my figures. And then they come all the way down to the very tip of the tail. Alright, that's detail. He's got some great detail. Is there something I missed? No, there's not. Okay, sculpt. Now with the sculpt, I have some issues, and I have some praise to give this figure. Let's see. I'll just... I don't know. When you look at the head, it definitely screams out 1994, especially from this angle right here. A lot of different angles, except for maybe the side. It's kind of weird. But yes, definitely 1994 right there. It's one of my favorite suits. Now one of my main problems with the head sculpt is the jaw. Now, this jaw is too long. Just take a minute, Take a minute to look at this. Just really study this. Does this look right? Let me get out another Heisei Godzilla. 1993. His jaw is not nearly as long, and he looks great. This guy's jaw, it's huge, or not huge, but long, and when you close it, it goes right to the front of his snout. Where, you know, Godzilla is supposed to have sort of an overbite, if that makes sense, or it might be an underbite, I don't really know. But the teeth on his top jaw are supposed to cover up his bottom jaw. Like, let's get out 2014. Like this. This guy, nope, his jaw is as long as it wants to be. And it's honestly really distracting, so I'm just going to keep him with his mouth closed. He looks okay with his mouth open, like from a front view, but it still looks really long. The main problems are just looking at it from the side. But yes, other than that, I think the head sculpt is fantastic. Another strange thing is this section here. It looks kind of strange to me. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's this part that comes up so high in his head. Maybe they should have made the head go over this middle section, like they did on the 2014 figure. As you can see, that looks a lot better. Oh well, it's not as bad as the jaw. 1994 Godzilla is obviously very chunky and hefty, and it definitely shows in the legs, but these legs are like way too cylindrical. They're like just huge pillars. Look at this Godzilla's legs. They're nicely rounded out in certain places. They've got lots of definition where the knees are. Very nicely shaped legs. And this guy, he's like, his legs are just cylinders. It's kind of strange. It's not too distracting. I just think they should have exaggerated the knee sculpt a little bit more so we could have had more shape. Let's see, his teeth, by the way, are individually sculpted. Let's get up close on that. Really nice. Loving that. So, I'm gonna move him back here now. Now, some people say that his tail is too short. So, I honestly don't think the tail length matters that much on this figure. It's decent length, not bad. But I do have a problem with the tail because it's way too thin. Look at this. Look at this. That's a wimpy tail. Look at this Godzilla here. Thick tail. Right up in here. No. Wimpy. Sucks. So yes. Those are my problems with the sculpt. The best part about this guy's sculpt is his head, and that's because he looks so much like 1994. They did a good job with that. As far as I can tell, this guy is a pure black all over. I've looked for quite a bit to find any sort of highlight anywhere, but I just can't. He's just pure black. A glossy black, I might add. It fits, it's not bad. It makes him stand out. His nails are actually kind of a bluish gray, which looks really nice. Same with his fingers. His spines are a very light gray, almost white. And it's really nice how they made the black come up onto the spines. like here. It looks very good. I love it when they do that because that's how he looks in the movies. His eyes, I'm gonna get up close. His eyes are pretty much red with black pupils, and they have yellow around the pupils. And that is kind of strange for a Godzilla figure, but it is accurate to the movie. His teeth are plain white, and the inside of his mouth is kind of a murky red. Oh, and they've also sculpted in and painted a second row of teeth. If you can see that, that looks great. I didn't even know Godzilla had that, and I'm not even sure if he still does. So yes, that is paint job. Oh yes, and another thing about the paint job is that they painted each of these little extra spines down the side, which looks really good. And they also got the back of the neck. Seems a little bit sloppy, but at least they did something. Now, on to the articulation of this figure. As always, NECA figures have lots of articulation. So, I'm going to get right into it. He can look side to side, pretty far up, and pretty far down. His head can also rotate, and so can this neck thing here. He's got a stomach crunch, which can rotate all around, and of course crunches a bit. It allows for lots of action, and that combined with the neck and head makes for some very impressive looking around effects, maybe for a stop motion. The tail, this is where you attach the tail right here, and this rotates and moves like this. You can kind of move it all around. It's on a ball joint, and then same down here. It can move around, rotate. One more down, it can rotate, move around. And then this is also where you put on part of the tail. See, that can come off. Now this section here is a bendy wire. I'm not going to bend it too much, but just to demonstrate that. There's a bendy wire in action. And yes, it can also move on the socket, rotate, and move around. It can go quite a bit down, but that looks dumb. Oh yes, of course, his jaw opens quite a bit actually, and closes. On his arms, he's got a shoulder joint which can move forward, backward, out, in, and can rotate up. He's got one down here, can rotate, move back and forth. He's got an elbow joint which can move back, forward, and rotate. He's got hand rotation and hand pivot, and he's got this nice hinge on his fingers, so he has gripping action. His legs can move 360, and they can move out. At the knee, he can rotate all the way around. I can move back and forward a little bit, side to side just a little bit. He's got some ankle pivot and foot rotation, and that's it. I only have one problem with this guy's articulation. It's that, take the arms for example. There's just so much like articulation through here. It's hard to keep everything aligned right and looking good. And also the articulation is like really loose. This might just because it's used, But on mine, like, I'm barely putting any effort into this. Yeah, that's articulation. It's pretty good. But it's just kind of hard to manage. Size comparison. Godzilla 2014. They're not in scale. In fact, this one is taller than this one. But they do look okay together. 1993, which is kind of the Heisei Godzilla that everyone seems to have. So let's put him there. Again, this guy is a lot taller than him. And that's not size accurate. They should be exactly the same size. Because this guy's from Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, here's Bandai Space Godzilla, Bandai Mogera, and Bandai Little Godzilla. Now let's move him out of here real quick just for room, and him. No. Space Godzilla should be like this big. Maybe this big to Godzilla. And it's almost the other way around. Look at that. That's horrible. They don't even look good together. They just... Get out of here, Space Godzilla. Now, Mogera is the exact same height as Space Godzilla, so this, of course, is bad. Need I even mention Little Godzilla? It's not his fault, though. He's not supposed to be in scale. So yes, they do look pretty good together as a group, but when you start comparing them one-on-one, it's not that good. Rarity and value, you can find them for 20 bucks at Toys R Us or your local comic book shop. Final thoughts, I suppose. He's a nice looking figure, and he definitely shouts 1994 because of this overhead or top head sculpt. But he's just littered with tiny little problems. I think my biggest problems with this guy are the jaw. And then also the articulation makes him like really messy. But he's still a really nice looking figure. He has great detail. The head is very, very well sculpted. The paint was nicely done. So I don't know, they sort of balance each other out. Very, very nice figure. He's worth your money. Definitely get him. It's going to surprise you guys because this guy's been getting a lot of good reviews. Honestly, I think I'm going to have to give him a 3 out of 5. Just to recap, he's got a lot of really small mistakes that bring him down in the long run, which is disappointing because this is one of my favorite suits. But yeah, 3 out of 5. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button, and if you didn't enjoy this video, please hit the thumbs up button, and I will see you on my next video review.